to performance rate according to a report that was conducted as the year 2022. Fumban, it talks of the museum of the ruler of Fumban will be inaugurated on the 13th of April 2024 in the Fumban in the known division. And we take you to this other story on Mesamena. It talks of Mesamena, how a medical practitioner was sanctioned as a result of gross insubordination. We are talking on the director of the district hospital of Mesa Mena. And Lagrand Angle for today talks of the affair of Doctors Asamba, who happens to be the president of the Cameroon Medical Corps. The paper report on the Ministry of Health headed by Marona Malashi for the respect of ethics and the deontology and administrative of the medical practice in the country. That is the pronouncement of the president of the Cameroon Medical Council or COB, that is Dr. Samba. We move away from that. We take you now to the next publication for today. Info show for this morning, half as info show for this day. I think info show for today talks of the Lily Lobe refuses the manipulation of Olivier Billet. These are two political opposition leaders who are at loggerheads regarding the various engagement of both parties. And still, from the look of things, Info Show is having two publications. We take you to this other one of another publication of Info Show that says Bangante. There is massive resignation of CPD and militants from the party to join the MRC of Kamto Maurice. The Punch newspaper for this morning says Naira rebounds to 1,400 Naira per a dollar. Speculators offload forex. Get rid of story from Nigeria. And NEMA blames water scarcity as fire raises for Lagos building in broad daylight. President Tinubu pushes 60 billion naira annual pay for Supreme Court justices. And Delta bloodbath. Senate meets service chiefs as troop corps on creeks. And federal government varsity workers to meeting deadlock. Union continuous strike. The other paper from Nigeria, Vanguard, for this morning have as late story: killings, troops curb Bayelsa Delta creeks for militant leader. And in that third paper, CBN clears valid foreign exchange blockage and hardship palliative not reaching Nigerians. Catholic Church tells the federal government of Nigeria. And we'll move over to this other story: salary structure for judicial officials, CNJ to earn 5.4 million monthly as salary. What a colossal amounts you can find on that set paper. We cross over to the Observer. The Observer for today talks of March 14, 2012, March 14, 2024. Adolf Lelila Free clocks 12 years on as Northwest Governor. In that set paper of the Observer, Guinness Super League, Itang Bong FC Cambe unbeaten in 4 matches. Ipoloa FC remains top. Northwest Public Independent Conciliator pushes cancels dirty report cards to the public. Tuala, the paper report on 26-year-old beer vendor stabbed to death. What a sad story you can find on page 5 on the ear section of that said paper of the Observer. From the Observer, we take you to the economic paper of Conjuncture Economy for this morning. Report on the at the general works of the Equatorial Guinea says 316 ex-workers are highly awaited. Get read more on that said paper for today. Regarding internet disruption, the Minister of Post and Telecommunication in Cameroon, Minel Libong Lelike, call on all stakeholders to make sure services, telecommunication services are being better off in the days ahead. Mitasion newspaper of Terry Diaga for this morning report on Raymond Asogo has been replaced place as the Commissaire Divisionnaire, better still known as the Regional Commissioner of the Furi Division, with headquarters in the Bonanjo neighborhood of Douala. This came last evening following the presidential decree. Emmanuel Esembe Alobwede from the Southwest region is the fastest African as he won the gold medal in the ongoing All African Games in Accra, Ghana, some 2 nights ago. The paper reports on the impact of internet disruption after one of the submarine cables were being tampered with by the Houthi rebels from the Palestine. Municipal update of Victor Bamacham says corrupt, badly managed Northwest councils. Consupe, CONAG pursuing independent conciliators report. Far North UN report over 3,700 persons have been internally displaced since the month of January 2024. Government to boost HIMO project with the sum of 2.2 billion CFA francs in order to curb the unemployment situation in Cameroon. Cocoa hits record price per kilogram as demand surges. Away from that, we move over to the next publication for today. The Guardian Post of Christian Guy says Bamenda Babajo, the battle we fought. In that set paper of Christian Guy, talks of the Bamenda Babajo wrote the power of the press advocacy. That is their editorial of the Guardian Post for this morning. From the Guardian Post, we move over to another economic paper, that is Financier d'Afrique. Financier d'Afrique for today talks of the banking sector. It talks of how the state of Cameroon needs to step up the game when it comes to the privatization of CBC Bank. And in that set paper, economic analysis, the impact of the volatile price of petroleum according to the states of Cameroon and across the CEMAC sub-region. The BTB talks of the 932 small and medium-sized enterprises are now eligible to benefit from this engagement from the Republic of Gabon. And we crossed over to the point. The point for this morning talks of the reverse of the electoral system. The paper report on the systematic get to read the story, and that's it paper. The Archdiocese of Yaoundé, His Grace Jean Baraga, the advocates, as he has been advocating for good governance and other good behavioral practices to be done in the country. We move over to the Easter feast and the Ramadan 2024. The paper report on Branga Tangana, who happens to be the Minister of Trade. What will happen to the prices of basic commodities during this key religious festivity, that of the Ramadan and the Easter for the Christians, that will be coming up in the days ahead? That is what that paper is being preoccupied for this morning regarding the price surge on basic food commodities. We crossed over to Les Sources today reports on Dr. Rudolph Fonkwa. He talks of the face of a medical practitioner. In that set paper, Fight Against Tuberculosis, the necessary measures and synergy of actions put in place by the Ministry of Public Health and the government of Cameroon in order to kick tuberculosis out of the country. You can find details on that said paper of Les Sources for today. We'll move over to the Parliamentary Action newspaper. Écho du Parlement for this morning reports on March 2024 session of Parliament, reasons why there is no activities yet as the Senate and at the National Assembly. Get to read details on that story on page 2 of Écho du Parlement for this morning. From Écho du Parlement, viewers, we take a bow out of the studio for this first part of the program, which this paper from the northern region, Aigle du Sahel, for this morning talks of presidential elections 2024 in Chad. Who is the next president of Chad? That is what the paper Aigle du Sahel is quite preoccupied for this morning. The Far North region, the Federation of Regional Volleyball meets get to read a story on that said paper. And entrepreneurship in the Mayodani division of the northern region. It talks of Doba Thomas, a spiritual counselor. You can find more on him on that paper of Lady Sahel for this day. With that paper, viewers, this is what put a stop on this first part of the program. But the number for muscle will be back for the second part of the program with our reviewer here with us. Hello there, viewers. You are welcome back to the program and to joining us on this second part of the program reserved for our review. Our reviewer for this morning is a journalism student on internship, and she is already practicing with the University of Boya, our radio station known as Chariot FM in the campus on the campus of the University of Boya. That is Moki Becky. Good morning to you, Moki Becky, and you're welcome to this edition of Press Brief for this morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you.
All right. So we kickstart the program with this newspaper. I think we start off with Eden. Eden is reporting on FENASCO A games that will be starting in no distant time in the locality of Limbe, as the paper of late Zak Zangadembo have as lead story. Limbe rehabilitation works in advanced stage ahead of FENASCO A games by the Ministry of Secondary Education headed by Nalova Lyonga Egbepolin. All right. What you see the advanced stage there, and FENASCO is just in a little short moment.
Sports is an important phenomenon. You see,
Yeah, sports, and this one is targeting secondary school students all across the nation, where they come to compete in the best, the best of their abilities, and for who to become the next champion that can represent Cameroon in the international scene, and why not the Olympics?
which implies that their talents are going to be seen by the whole population, which also implies that they are going to meet new people. This whole FENASCO issue encourages
talent in the sporting sector.
Encourages conversations and meeting new people. You get acquaintances and so on.
Okay, we take you now to Bamenda. Increase in sheds rent. Bamenda City Mayor Reverend Paul Achombong tells traders and business persons in the town of Bamenda to pay 100% increase or leave the set sheds or shops of that set Bamenda locality in the northwest region.
This is really complicated. Don't you think with this situation, it is going to be a very big problem for the business people?
And we shouldn't forget that the set Bamenda main market went on flame some weeks ago, where more than 300 shops were razed to nothing.
Can you imagine? So, what is the essence of increasing
the 100% increase of rent of shades?
What is the essence? I think that it is going to be a very big problem for the businessmen, for the business people, because at this point, some of them are trying to rebuild their businesses. So instead of
increasing the rent 100%,
I think they are supposed to be supported.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, away from Bamenda, we crossed over to Emergence Quotidien. Emergence Quotidien for today talks of enterprises ranking in the country. Talks of Tradex company was the best performing public enterprise or enterprise in Cameroon as attained in the year 2022. So we have this petroleum company that has been owned largely by the government. That is no, not this other one. The other Emergence we have the other Emergence is the right one, not this other one of more than 3,000 internally displaced persons. So what do you make of this caption by the Emergence for today that talks of Tradex company was the best performing public enterprise in the year 2022?
At this point, I really think I cannot comment on this, but
yeah,
this is for the benefit of the country.
Okay.
Yes, it is for the benefit of the country.
Okay. All right, viewers, let's cross over to the northwest region with the paper of Elvis Tombong. That is the Observer. The Observer for this morning says March 14, 2012 and March 14, 2024, Northwest Governor Adolphe Lele Lafrique clocks 12 years as governor of that northwest region.
That is really a long time. 12 years is really a long period of time. And at this point, I would say that Adolphe Lele Lafrique has been doing a great job, considering the fact that the crisis. He was the governor at the time when the crisis began. Until this period, we presume that he has been able to manage the crisis to an extent in the Northwest region. Also, is it that the young people are not fit to take over, considering the period of time where the Northwest governor has been in power? Is it that the young people are not fit? So we begin to ponder on such issues. Because 12 years is really a long period of time. But then we give him a thumbs up for the work he has been doing during this period.
All right. And still with that paper on the ear section of the Observer newspaper for today, it says Douala, human interest story, Douala, 26-year-old beer vendor stabbed to death. This is a sad situation that occurred in the city of Douala some days ago, where the set young guy was stabbed by another lad in that locality of Douala. What is happening to the society?
Violence has been the order of the day. All along, we keep on hearing such issues, juvenile delinquency, and we begin to ask questions. Why are people or the youths behaving like this? Why are they acting in such ways? Is it because of unemployment, or is it because of the drugs that they take? Is it because of the place? Where is it because of where they are coming from? So we are trying to understand where all of this starts from, where it's coming from, like the attitude of youth these days. Because what would somebody do to you to the extent where you stab that person? So it is a big problem.
Yeah, it's
in
quite
the society.
sad.
It's a problem that we are supposed to look into.
Okay, we move over to Douala with Mitasion newspaper for this morning. Mitasion newspaper says Emmanuel Eseme Alobwede is the fastest African on the continent, as he won the gold medal for Team Cameroon in the ongoing 13th edition of the All African Games in Accra, Ghana.
Cameroon has talent.
Okay.
Cameroon has talents, and as days goes by, we discover more of these talents. As competitions are coming up, as we are being given the opportunity to show these talents, we see that Cameroon has great talents, and we give a thumbs up to this person.
Okay, away from that, we take you now to the next paper, the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post reports on the Bamenda Babajo Road. He says the battle we fought and the power of the press, and that is what Christian Nga is saying, because we have seen him publishing non-stop on the bad nature of then the Bamenda Babajo stretch of road. But now the government of Cameroon via the Ministry of Public Works have swung into action, as this road has been constructed, as about, if I'm not mistaken, more than 70% of the road has been realized. So Christian titles that as the battle we fought on the Guardian Post.
Firstly, what I would say about this is development. This increases development in the country, and secondly, we see the power of the press in this situation. From the start of this road project, this road construction, the press has been updating the public on how the work has been going to this point where the work has been completed. Should I say completed?
Yeah, almost completed.
Almost completed. To this point where the work is almost completed. So we appreciate the media for what it has been doing. And also construction for a road to be completed in Cameroon is indeed a
veritable nightmare. Let's put it that way.
Yes, because it takes like almost forever.
Like a Douala Yaoundé Express route.
Yes, it takes almost forever for the completion of these roads. But then we say thank you, and we are grateful for the construction of this road, because it's going to ease transportation. For instance, we know foodstuffs, perishable food are leaving the northwest to the southwest. So from this, we are easy transportation of these goods. We see that it is going to maybe reduce the prices of
food items.
Yes, and also the travelers, those that are traveling from
one space to another.
Yes, it's going to ease the stress,
Yeah, okay. And so we remain with the English publications. This time around, we take you to next door Yaoundé with municipal updates of Victor Bamacham. Victor's paper for today says corrupt, badly managed Northwest councils. CONSUPI, that is the Supreme State Audit, and CONAC, which happens to be the anti-corruption organization, pursuing independent conciliators report. We have this report of the Northwest independent conciliator, Tanfo Simon Farr, who publishes councils in the Northwest region that are the most corrupt when it comes to service delivery and malpractices that are ongoing in the said council. So this sets two institutions of the country, powerful as they are, they say they are following the report cards that was given by the Northwest Public Independent Conciliator to pursue these said councils for malpractices, corruption, and other negative vices anyone can imagine over there in the Northwest region.
For these bodies to get involved in this situation, it shows that it is really serious. Corruption
it's quite endemic in the country, and many is looking upon it like a weapon.
Yes, it is indeed a weapon for us. So
okay,
for the Northwest
region,
it is a good one for the
from the Northwest Public Independent Conciliator, Tanfo Simon Farr.
Yes, to have sorted out this problem. We begin to see that he's doing a good job, and he has seen that this act is really affecting the Northwest region,
and it's quite rampant.
And again, we begin to look at the Southwest. Well, I have not seen I've not seen or heard of any report from the Southwest. We don't know if it's that the Southwest is free from this act, but then
no society is free from corruption, of course. Even Switzerland, that is the least corrupt.
So that is why I said
we still have resistance of corruption in Swiss.
That is why I say we don't know if if it is actually free. So we are hoping that from the reports, precautions are taken.
Yeah.
Steps are taken to curb this acts in the country.
Okay.
Because this is really going to destroy us in many aspects, in many ways.
Okay. Away from that, Northwest Public Independent Conciliator and the pursuance of CONSUPI and CONAC in order to make sure these set councils are punished for being corrupt and being malicious when it comes to service delivery. We take you to the Far North region now. It says UN report indicates over 3,700 persons have been internally displaced. According to that report made as a result of the consistency of the Boko Haram insurgency in the Far North region since the month of January. 3,700, quite a colossal sum of amount of persons, figure of persons that have been displaced as a result of the Boko Haram insurgency in the Far North region.
Terrorism is a bad thing. I will say that.
Okay.
But I keep thinking, isn't it high time this whole thing stopped? Because this has been going on for the longest of time.
More than 10 years now.
Yes, it has been going on for the longest of time, and for people to have left their areas of origin to other places, it shows that they cannot take it anymore.
Yeah.
The threat on them is too much for them to have left. And imagine you leaving your area of origin to other places. How do you start life all over? How do you cope without your source
of living?
Yes, people going to other places to look for jobs, to look for shelter, and many others. I think it is high time this thing stopped, because it's really affecting the population.
Indeed. So we take you to agriculture still on the bottom page story of Municipal Updates. It says cocoa hit record price per kilogram as demand surges. We see cocoa farmers now in Cameroon and around the world. They are now smiling according to the remarkable increase of cocoa prices per kilogram of the said cocoa beans. It's quite a thumbs up to the farmers now. What do you make of this increase of cocoa prices per kilogram that keeps on surging? Now, I was told a kilogram of cocoa now sells at, if I'm not mistaken, 4,000 CFA francs per kilo. Yeah. So what do you make of this for the farmers and those that are in charge of cocoa beans production?
Well, I'll just have to say that it is for their own advantage,
All right.
especially the sellers, the cocoa workers, the cocoa farmers. It is for their own advantage.
Okay, we move away from that story. We take you to something else now. This time around, we make a delve into this other story. We move over to Echo du Parlement, parliamentary issues. The paper report on March session of Parliament, reasons why there has not been activities at the Senate and at the National Assembly of the country, according to Echo du Parlement. We saw the president of the Senate, Masenya Chijifenji, who flew in the other day into the country from medical. Okay. Before that, I think we should focus on this other. I don't know why the papers are coming in double form. We should focus on this other parliamentary action of the CEO of Congercam, that is Honorable Albert Guashingwe and Colette Swanyi, who comes out to help farmers in their various constituencies in the Kunki division of the West region with farm inputs for them to engage in agriculture.
Okay. Firstly, I would say that is going to provide employment for some of the inhabitants. Secondly, it is a form of encouragement to the farmers for them to work more. Also, we are looking forward to a greater output, which is going to be. We don't know if the farmers are doing that for business purposes or for commercial purposes.
No, for agricultural purposes. This is an engagement from two parliamentarians from the Kunki division who decided to help their constituent in order to make sure that they are being provided with top-notch farm input.
Okay, so we are looking forward to quality and greater output.
All right.
Efficiency.
All right. Wow, that was the much we could take on this edition of the program. Thanks for coming, Becky Moki.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and viewers, we cannot go without mentioning a special person to one of us. That is little Elena Skylar Neseyu, who happens to clock +1 today. As we hear on press brief, we are wishing the little niece of Claudine Tamfu pleasant, but the best of wishes and happy birthday to this little woman, Elena Scala Nasiyu. Happy birthday to you, my dearest. And that's the much we could take on this edition of the program. As we wish this little girl happy birthday, and from us and the entire crew is blessed stay in the company of High Television, as Press Brief is back tomorrow 9 a.m. GMT +1 Cameroon time. From me and the entire crew is goodbye and blessed day.